Richard Drax is the richest man in Parliament and runs a power station. His family back in the day made lots of money from slavery. That's how they got their wealth. There was talk of reparations to the descendants of slaves. It was very difficult to work out who's a worthy recipient, as people have intermarried, gone to different countries, etc., etc. Anyway, the super rich and these really rich companies would never pay up. They just work out some kind of tax dodge or just put it in an offshore account. So BLM would move on to people lower down the food chain, such as you and me. And I personally don't see why I should give my television or my artwork or my Vivienne Westwood handbag or my scent collection or 10 grand to someone just because they're black, as reparations. I mean, I just don't see, I had nothing to do with slavery that happened 200 years ago. So, and BLM are judging me purely on the colour of my skin, that, because I'm white, I'm considered to be in the same bracket as Richard Drax. The working class have nothing in common financially with the Richard Draxes of this world, but we're all lumped together as white privilege. It's like blacks are inherently victims and whites are inherently oppressors. That's critical race theory, isn't it? I think it's, rather racist really in itself. It says nothing about the class system, about the vastly different financial situations of different people. Corbyn says he would only tax rich people, but how do you define rich? Homeowners with something in the bank? He was looking at proposals to lower IHT to 125. And there was a policy, and they did have an actual policy, that if you're a homeowner and you did up your kitchen, the single person rebate would be rescinded. Again, squelching on the little guy. If you've got a little bit, but, we'll take it off you, take away what little you have. And then I read a thought piece in The Guardian where they would get rid of the hereditary principle altogether, so no one would inherit anything except for select top Labour people. This in their eyes would break, all the money would go to the government. This in their eyes would break up the class system. So the glorious edifice of Althorpe to those in the know, darling, would be gone in a generation. And people wonder why, ordinary people, their kids would get nothing. It would all go to the state, but they're wonderful benefits, darling. And people wonder why the left is so hated, And I'm sure Corbyn would look at proposals like these and think, well, that's interesting. Why don't we do that? Reason why I go on about Corbyn so much is because I think the Labour Party is not really terribly different from what it was under him. It's still stuffed with mad lefties, and Corbyn is still alive, and he could come back. Starmer is more moderate, but I don't think he's reformed the party that much. The Reform Party would lower IHT to just give to estates that had 2 million or more, would raise it to 2 million or more. So that would take 98% of households out of the tax bracket. Very sensible if you ask me. The Magna Carta, okay, it protects the Mog in his castle, but it also protects me and mine. I've no interest in voting Labour. This family's finances would be decimated under a Labour government. Okay, thanks. Bye.